The mind, it conforms to the things that it constantly pays attention to.
Gotta be God, gotta be Jesus. Oh my God, gotta be Jesus. Gotta be God, gotta be Jesus. Yeah. Ain't no more capping on.
Yeah, be cocky. Well, today I was lately, not just today, but lately I've been, lately I've been upset. I noticed that nowadays I get a bit upset about little things, and I don't know why. And it comes back to, I believe it comes back to this. I spoke about it in a previous video. Like, if you bottle up how you feel, and if you don't deal with situations right there and then, situations that anger you, that is, and you don't deal with it right there and then, over time it's like a pressure pot. And when the pressure in the pot just, when the pressure building, and then you start seeing steam. So you're seeing little steam for things that I shouldn't be really upset about, but they are getting to me. So and aside from that, I have been noticing. I noticed that nowadays I'm kind of comparing myself to, but not nowadays. This is like a common something that does go on in my life in general, right? But now that I'm coming back on the fact that I'm paying attention to how exactly I'm paying attention to my feelings and how I move, and just be self-aware, right? So I noticed that I compare myself to people who are doing better than me, and this will even spark a conversation about focusing on what really matters. Because when I find myself comparing my life to other persons, I just gotta come back and say, alright, well, they are in a different situation, meaning that they family must get money, or they family have a better social status. They are in a better social status than us, or God just give them more things that they could handle. Because remember in the Bible it said God had the parable where this master or the king give
each of them
the servants
the money,
and
tell them go out and
it's got the wheat or something like that.
some
talents.
away,
Give them some of them 3 talents, 2 talents,
it's
and
3, 2 and 1.
So sometimes you may want the 3, you may want the 3 talents, but you could indeed, or in reality, you could only handle 2. So this is why I start humbling myself more, or when I find myself comparing my life to others, so to speak, I would say, alright, well, this is the life that God gave me, and something that you could do, or something that I do to combat that is just alright, well, although they got these things going on in life, when I look at me, like, I am blessed. The reason why I am blessed is because I have you guys who are alive. I have my mother, my father, my aunts and uncles. I ain't going hungry again. Like, I have a good job. I am healthy. I get my legs. I ain't sick. So there's so many things to be grateful about. And just instead of just comparing your life and be like, oh, they like better than you, which and this is the other thing, you don't even know when in their life. They could be looking good on the outside, but on the inside or behind the scenes, they don't have the best living situation. And to be truth be told, a lot of people superficially things look good, but when you look at the behind the scenes, like, I can't garden, they'll be like, you understand?
Actually, the same social proof podcast, the one that I was watching today, I'll let you watch it, because everything we were talking about. So the guy was highlighting the same things. Because he was saying, because the interviewer, his name is David Shant. He's the person that owns the podcast, right? So he was asking the guy if he believes that everybody has different not different goals. He was asked, oh gosh, oh, alright. So they were talking about leadership, right? And he was asking if everybody, why everybody's not lead. If he believes that some people are born leaders, and then some people they just ain't getting enough to be a leader. And the guy said, the best way to answer that is, do you know who is God, right? The man said yes. And the man said, is God a perfect being? I said yes. Good. So if we are mini versions of him, they mean that then each will be to lead. However, not everybody's taking the time to work on the leadership skill. Hence this how come you see some people, it can look like, oh, this set of people, they moving forward and it seems like, oh hey, they get more blessings than the other. But no, but it's just a case that one set just happened to work on the skills they needed to move forward, and the rest of them just haven't. This way just really come down to, yeah, this way just really come down to, because if you're saying that, oh, this set of people more blessed than this set of people, it's saying that God make we imperfect. And remember, the only thing imperfect about we really and truly is sin.
That made us imperfect.
Yeah, that made us imperfect. It's involved enough. It's a level playing field. So yeah, so there's a really good
just to add to that, it kind of remind me just now when you were talking about this. It remind me of, sometimes you see people advancing in the life, or they get his body that you want, they get his job that you want, they get his life that you want, family life or whatever. But although you want this and you feel like, I wish I was this person, it's challenging. Let's say the person come out and tell you, hey, this is the things I've been doing in order to get here. Sometimes you'll be like, nah, this not, you want to go through that. This not something I willing to go through. So you gotta be humble. I went reading the Bible today. By the Bible really is a humbling book. It's called it for reflect. I went reading about in this book celebration of discipline. Well, he went talking about different disciplines. So now right now, what was the last discipline? I can't remember the last discipline, but one of the disciplines or under one of the chapters, he said that the mind, it conforms to the things that it constantly pays attention to. So there are certain habits that I want to get rid of. So I would, if I say I want to become a Christian, I want to make sure I have a strong relationship with God and so on. And I want to get rid of certain habits that I believe that are not in alignment with God's purpose or God's will and His righteousness. I have to focus on the words of the Bible that streamline my mind to the positive habits. If you get what I'm saying. So it's like I'm reading specific verses to help cultivate the habit that I want to have. Because like you said, the mind conforms to the things that it constantly pays attention to.
Right.
So
I smile to beat your song, because going back to the same podcast again, and today it was the same thing the guy spoke about. You see, God is good, because he was talking about you could be doing the same things, right? And still be successful. So what changes it is the area that you're in, so, or the environment, so to speak. So you were saying that a habit of his is you would play this positivity mindset, this thing over and over and over and over. You see, he would be in a phone call, it's in his airplane, he be talking to you, and it's in his. So the only time he doesn't listen to it is if he's in a conference call,
Yeah.
or if he's in a meeting, in person meeting. So all of that 24/7. He said even if you go and see it's in his ear. So he was saying that in order for you to really get the most out of yourself, is that you got to feed your mind where you want to go. Because if, like, for instance, like, there was a period, you know, I just watching this, and you know, and I've been watching Netflix. I ain't saying all the bad, right? But then at the same time, when I put in all the efforts there, but then me reading nothing as pertains to building the business or building myself. So when all that's done, right, I just empty shell. The only thing now I can regurgitate is why seeing these anime or why binge watching. So in essence, for me, now I'm just an empty vessel. Just carrying around these things that I can't use in real life. They're not practical to where I want to be. And it took me a while. It took adversity for that to happen, because I was just there and something happened. I can't remember what happened, but then it hit me like, oh shucks, I don't even know how to maneuver my way out of this. And I'm even trying to recall what I would have read since way back then, but I can't really remember. Neither can put it into action, because this is not where I am constantly. This is not what we're really looking at, because I stopped looking at the podcast and so on for a while, and I was like, oh shucks, you know, now I gotta take back, you know, and focus on me, so that in building me, I could build the kingdom around me, so to speak, and not be an empty vessel.
So, I got add to the book, the same celebration of discipline. I believe you guys should read it. I know how many people pay attention to our podcast who are Christians, but that's a very good book. Well, it's a Christian book, and most of the principles are Christian, right? Because it talks about the inner disciplines and the outer discipline. Right now, I'm reading the outer discipline. It's not a book that you could read once and then put down. But that's neither here nor there. He was saying that recitation, a lot of people don't give credit to it. People believe like, oh, reciting thing don't really make sense, but it does. I could personally attest to it, because when I look at what used to happen in my life 2 years ago to now, I could clearly see that because I chose to pay attention to certain things, it actually changed my mind over to suit those thoughts, habits, or whatever, right? So now you got to unlearn it. And I can remember vividly when I started to pay attention to things that, you know, I shouldn't be paying attention to if I am to identify as. Since I'm a Christian, I shouldn't be paying attention to certain things, right? I can remember vividly when I watched something that was contrary to my beliefs. It does feel foreign, right? It was weird, because I never used to, like, for example, secular music.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
I think that was like, I think I must spend like 2 years paying attention to only Christian music. So after 2 years, after my first breakup, you know what I'm saying? Yes, after my first breakup, I was like, I would listen to this Stray song. I forget what song. It wasn't a sex song, but it was a hype song, right? Like, but I like music. I like music, but as I constantly listen to the song, then I go on to the next one, then I'm here now listening to secular music. Nah, I mean, you know, it's gotta use your leisure, because even when I used to listen to mostly Christian music, 1 or 2 times I would listen to secular, but not as much then compared to now, right? So yeah, be careful of what you pay attention to. If you say that you want to do something, if you say you want to become a millionaire, if you say you want to be the best at whatever it is, you have to find mentors, you have to read books on whatever it is, so that you could be the best at whatever you say. If you say you want to become a millionaire, read books on that. If you say you want to become a musician, read. Not just read, look at videos, whatever it is, anything that is going to encourage you or help you to form positive habits or habits that will help you to reach your goal.
Don't forget to add that don't just read and watch these things. You need to put it in action, because it makes no sense. You read 12 books, really good books, but then you haven't put one single thing into action. Well, then all that happens is just your brain just gets big and dissolved. That you could recite it and you sound bright. You can sound like this, but then your life does not reflect it all. And then what will happen is that people look at you and be like, wait, but he's spitting all of this, but nothing going on with you. So why should I really listen to you? Why should I take your advice? Whether it be on being a Christian, whether it be on being a millionaire, whether it be racing, whatever it is, if you can't even put one of these things into action, then why then? That means, for me, you can kind of be like a hypocrite.
To be honest, the Bible talks about it, right? So the Bible says, be not only hearers of the word, but be doers. I'm paraphrasing. And went on to say that somebody who just hears the word and don't practice it is like somebody who step in front of a mirror and see what's wrong and ain't fix it and just step away. It's like if your clothes mash up or something, and you just step in front of the mirror and you see this thing wrong, but you just step away and you forget that you even had, you don't fix it, you forget that you sure look messed up.
You just continue moving.
Person. Oh God, this is something else. But yeah, practice. Oh, I was going to say that one of the hardest things is not, okay, they can talk a good game, right? Yeah, you're reading these books, and you want to put this thing in action, but sometimes taking that action or taking that step toward the right direction means that you gotta make sacrifices. You gotta think, okay, now if I start going in this direction, or if I choose to continue down this path, there's certain things that I gotta cut out now. And sometimes you want to give up though. You want to sacrifice.
That is so true.
Because you want to sacrifice, this will make you hold on. This will make you stuck in one position, but it's detrimental to your life, because yeah, you want to be the person who you envision yourself to be, but at the same time, you're comfortable with the world going on right now. Even if you're hurting you, this all come people stay in toxic relationships. This is another one.
Yeah.
You want to be better and do better, but you're just comfortable with what's going on and start giving up this for something that you don't even know. It's like it's kind of like the reverse. Is the quote, a bird in hand is
better than two in the bush. Right? But reality, there's a comfort. It's like,
you gotta stay with whatever right now, because you're taking a risk. You don't know if this gonna work out. If I throw away this bird, I'm going to
search for two in the bush. But at the same time, sorry to cut you. At the same time, but if you listen to the quote properly, there definitely is two in the bush, right? But you gotta let go of this one in your hand, so you could get it too.
And sometimes making the sacrifice is not hard. So mailing, one of both says that this why I think that the Bible is very challenging, because the Bible be like, if if you want to be a Christian, if you want to have this relationship with God, these are the things that you gotta do. These are the sacrifices that you have to make if you want to be on par with that. And you could apply that to any area of your life. If you want to level up, there's certain things that you gotta drop off. A lot of people start about it. We're another voices saying that you gotta make certain sacrifices if you want to go somewhere. Look at university. If you go in university, you can't just playing game all day. Some people could do that, but generally speaking, you can't play whole game. You gotta study. You gotta sacrifice series time for study time. Even no matter how much you love the series, you gotta be like, nah, but you gotta go. Especially if you want to say you want an A, right? You know, you gotta really focus. And there's always a caveat to this, right? But generally speaking, if you have to invest a lot of time into studying and sacrificing everything else. Sometimes even the time with your friends, with your relationship with your family life. I can remember David Adams. Yeah, I should go check out his channel. It's I
think it's I am David Adams. I think it's
a guy his channel. Dental student. Yeah, I should go and check him out definitely. He was telling me that when he first started dentistry, he said that his parents going out and asking David, you know, come. He said, no, I ain't coming because I got so much work to do. If I go and spend time with you, I go be behind work. There's a sacrifice you have to make. You have to sacrifice going out with them to stay on side. So yeah, just understand that wherever you want to go is on one hand, yes, focus on the things that you want to, or focus on the habits that you want to cultivate, but also realize that there are sacrifices that you're going to make. And sometimes you gotta be honest with yourself and say, but I mean ready to give up. Me ready to give up this thing, right? And this okay, but remember, although you accepting that you don't want to give up wherever, you gotta realize that you will be stuck in that position. You gotta deal with the consequence of not giving it up. And you gotta count the cost. Right? The Bible, I can remember, the Bible, some verses just come back to me. I can remember Jesus when telling somebody that a man got count the cost of building a tower before you build it. Before you go into a career, before you get into a relationship, before you pursue being a millionaire, you gotta know what sacrifices you gotta make. And if you're willing to make the sacrifices, sometimes it's not for you.
There's another verse when it's come to cost you building so that when you reach you don't end up in getting enough money or whatever it is. But indeed, I read the script but I never look at it from the point of view, because I'm just thinking about money alone. But there's a good spin to it that, regardless of what it is that you're going into, you gotta step aside and see, well, hey, for instance, let me use relationship, right? This is the relationship that I'm pursuing, right? And I'm saying that I want to be faithful. I want to ensure that I love this person to everything, whatever it is. So now you gotta put aside that, alright, so if before I used to spend 6 hours with my friends, now I can't spend 6 hours. Now chances are I might spend 1. So chances are you might get 1 for the entire week. Right? It all depends on who you looking to do. Because for me, I can remember in the past relationship that I didn't want to give up. I was like, hey, my friends come first. But then it hit me that
there's a team.
Yeah,
I never give up me time.
But then the reality step in when other people find what they need, then it like, yo, hey, let me, nah,
Yeah.
little girl tonight, we going and
It's true.
so
The half
I end up feeling
I
like
learn
a
quick
fool,
from
like, oh shucks, man. Cause for me, it's like, yo, if I get a call, I get nobody or nothing to tell me that I ain't going there. But then, like I said, after a while, I realized, well, hey, this is what I want, and it's not that. And if your friends are really your friends, they would understand that, hey, well, oh shucks, this is one of the priorities, because we can still be friends, but this one gonna work on this. So when they're set, we could always think on this, right? Like right now, like whenever we do have time, all of us, we ensure we try to have couples time, everybody bring the girlfriend, whatever it is. And so we try to build that family vibe, and so, but it came with sacrifices, because each one of us, there was a period where you can't get, we went call, hey, I think, yeah. So, and the other person or persons understood, well, yes, this is it. Well, I think we have really understand Anthony. It's too much. But there's a whole different something else. But yeah, like I said, it's a good thing when you have more than one minds in something, because like I said, you now open the verse me, and I see it very, very clear. I would have just seen it as though Jesus talking about money, because when you read it, and even the verse
it could
before,
very well be meaning that, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the book, it talked about when people reading. You ever hear the term or the phrase, you have to learn how to learn? You ever hear that? I was like, you learn how to learn? What? You don't learn when just read? I was like, no, you gotta way how to learn.